Hey there everybody, this is Andrew Whipple from Gamer's Guide to Life. I just wanted to welcome you to our very first video review. We're going to be focusing on Hunted: The Demon's Forge today. It's published by Bethesda and developed by inXile Entertainment. You might not know, but these guys, they've been around since 2002. They've done titles like The Bard's Tale. But Hunted is really their first attempt, their first AAA attempt at hitting the market. And I'm really not that pleased with it. Our story focuses on two mercenaries named Ilara and Kadek. Kadek being the burly, bald-headed, tattooed guy on the right. And they run into this goth chick named Seraphine, who compels them to pick up a death stone. Now, as menacing as that item sounds, it actually allows them to peer into the past of the deceased. And they find out that these creatures, called the Wargar, are drinking this material called slag that's superpowering them and making them aggressive. Since these guys worship spiders, obviously no good can come of this. So Ilara and Kadek get contracted out to find out what's going on, and bam, you know the basis of the story. Now, in the game you can use the Death Stone to find out what's going on with quests, and there are some humorous ones.
I fell, hit my head, and when I came to, I was being attacked by a flock of mad chickens. Wait, is it a flock or a gaggle?
Contrary to what inXile would like you to think, Hunted is a deceptively linear game. Since it's a co-op experience, you can always find your partner by pressing the Z button, which will also show you the correct route to take. Combat is another thing that Hunted is relatively poor, especially since you can't switch between characters on the fly. The only way to do this is at an obelisk that's placed about the game world. And it really makes no sense why you're unable to switch dynamically in combat. Without that ability, you can't always set up the situations you desire. What's worse is the shallow combat. You get a 4-swing melee combo with a heavy attack button thrown in there. It never gets deeper than that. Even the executions become tiresome after the first few decapitations. What Hunted has going for it is its cover-based Gears of War-esque combat. It feels good to go into cover, pop out, and shoot weird demon dudes in the face. Hell, you even resurrect guys that go down. As far as upgrades are concerned, both characters get 3 unique moves to augment. As I said, the combat isn't too deep, and every point increases the basics for that ability. Talents also offer extras like secondary weapon slots for achieving a certain number of kills. It all works for what it's worth, but the system itself is very boring. And to make matters worse, you'll have to deal with the insane amount of transitioning. After almost everything you do, the game makes you go through a damn doorway or a narrow corridor. It sounds like I'm nitpicking here, but there's no reason makeshift loading screens should be this abundant, especially for a game that supposedly had an emphasis on exploration.
Why are all these doors so damn heavy?
Oh, and don't even get me started on the AI. This is embarrassing. If it isn't crazies running in circles, it's glitches that kill minotaurs. So what, I guess if you knock them down and stand near them, they'll just die? What about wailing on dudes that never even turn around to fight you? And check out this health potion glitch. After using a health potion real fast, if I walk across the potion on the ground, nothing happens. I had to get hit again in order to pick it up. It's issues like this that make games like Hunted a complete waste of time. Since the story mode's predictability and lack of ingenuity will probably bore you, at least inXile decided to implement a creation mode called the Crucible. It's a neat idea, building your own levels with certain presets, but even this feels rushed and dated. Whatever you try to build, it becomes a Gears of War Horde type mode where you fight waves of enemies and move on. You can't actually build true levels. The Crucible is just a wasted effort. Hunted is a disappointment. From the original mind of Brian Fargo, I hate to see a game like this fail in a myriad of ways. Everything from the enemies to the story to the basic weapons and combat mechanics are just bland and unexciting. Even with a friend, fighting the same dudes underground or above it just isn't enticing. Here's to hoping inXile learns from this mistake, so spare yourself. Hunted is barely worth a rental.
What lousy heroes?